Okay, here's game 2 of the Wolverine OTK team, this 2.0 version of it. My opponent starts us off, rolling 2 sidekicks, a bolt, and a shield. Not super good, so he rerolls one of those sidekicks. So he currently has the ability to pay a bolt and KO a sidekick, but it looks like he's going to pay a bolt, Red Dragon Global, pay 1 for a big entrance, and pass the turn over to me. So I'll take 1 damage from that Red Dragon Global. I roll up 4 dice. I don't see any masks, so that kind of gives me pause. I do see the ability to buy my own big entrance, so I'll at least keep the according dice for that, or the dice that I need to do that. So I have 1 question mark that I can use as a mask, so I guess that's good ramp. The other shield won't do me any good. So I'll buy a big entrance using the Red Dragon Global, ping him for 1, and pass priority so that he can move his 2 dice over. I will end my turn, and I'll save that question mark for my own PXG. So he's rolling 6. Didn't look like he drew the big entrance, so he'll have to draw that turn 3. He's got a sidekick that he just rolled, along with 2 shields, a fist, a bolt, and a question mark. So that gives him the opportunity to KO 2 sidekicks and pay 2 bolts, but it looks like he's going to reroll the sidekick. Comes back up as a sidekick, this time as bolt, shield, and mask. That's a better set of energy than what he started with, so that'll work. So he can KO 2 sidekicks, pay 2 bolts, and reduce something by 4 if he wanted to. Let's see if he does that. He's going to do it once. That reduces by 2, and then he's just going to pay 3 for half dragon, saving 1 mask. He could have done it a second time, but it would have saved him a shield, so I guess that wouldn't have been super. Well, no, he could have saved the mask, so yeah, he should have probably KO'd that second sidekick and paid that second bolt. So that's probably a misplay there. It would have allowed him to move 4 dice over. Starting my turn, I pick up and roll. I have a big entrance myself. Let's see what I do with that. Reroll 1 of my energies, pick up a mask, and that's good. So I'm in a big entrance, reducing the cost of everything by 1. I will KO a sidekick and pay a bolt, so that's down to 3, and then 4. That's the 4th energy for a Nick Fury. He goes into the bag. Pass priority, my opponent PXGs. I end my turn, and I've got 4 dice that I can possibly be moving over into my prep area next turn, or on my opponent's turn, I should say. So he draws a half dragon and his big entrance. See how his roll goes. He gets the 1 energy face on his half dragon, and he gets the burst symbol on the big entrance. So we know he has big entrance at least. Question is he going to reroll more than just that half dragon? It looks like he's going to also reroll a bolt. Picks up a sidekick, and he's going to have to pay for that half dragon. So he pays a bolt for the half dragon, leaving him with 3 energy and 1 big entrance to use. So he's going to KO and pay a bolt, and going to pay the other 2 to pick up a red dragon. That's going to go into the bag. So 2 from the the Blue Eyes White Dragon Global, 2 from the half dragon, and then he paid the rest, or 1 from the big entrance, and then he paid the rest himself. And that's a good die to get early. I PXG'd, and then I started my turn. Got a lot of stuff here that I'm rolling, which is a good sign. And I end up picking up Nick Fury right away. That's always good. Got 2 sidekicks, a couple of shields that I don't really need those shields anymore. Those shields will only serve to allow me to buy something like an infiltrate. So I'm going to reroll those shields. I'll keep a sidekick just in case I want to do the Blue Eyes Global. I have 2 sidekicks in case I want to do the Blue Eyes Global. Put them both out there. Let's see, I could buy... This would be a great time for me to buy a Wolverine because I can big entrance and put it into the bag when I do buy it. KO, sidekick, pay a bolt for that Blue Eyes White Dragon Global. And then all I got to do is pay 1 fist to pick up one of those Wolverines. That's why I like big entrance with this with this team. I also do it again here to pick up a Silver Sable. So I have all but the Infiltrate in my bag, ready to go. Just need to buy an Infiltrate. Haven't had a perfect opportunity to pick up Infiltrate yet. Needed those higher cost characters there. So my opponent's got his Red Dragon. Let's see if he rolls it. Picks it up as a character. Comes up as a double burst, or excuse me, a double bolt. And he gets the Big Entrance. Big Entrance is going to do him no good because he wants a character, so he should reroll Big Entrance for the energy. But it doesn't matter because it doesn't come up as a character. Let's see if he does something to change that. So he's going to pay a bolt and choose to reroll everything with the Parallax Global, and that includes. He also made it include the sidekick that was in his field zone, because it says you can choose to reroll any number of your dice. I think he might choose to do it again here. Again, he doesn't need that Big Entrance, so he does it again. It doesn't come up as the character face again, so now he's in a weird situation. Because he doesn't have Big Entrance, but he's got 2 bolts on the Red Dragon. Oh, he's going to pay again. And it does finally come up as a dragon, and he can pay just enough to get it into the field this turn. So that was a rough turn for my opponent, where he just knew he needed to get that into the field and get something going. The question is now, does he attack? He passes priority so that I can PXG. And let's see if he attacks. If he attacks with both, I would let the half dragon through, so he passes. I draw my 4, and I have just about everything I need except that Infiltrate. So let's see if I can purchase that Infiltrate. I stick with my roll of what I got. I got several masks, so I'm going to field there. Had to field, or had to pay 3 of something, so it ended up having to be those 2 masks to field, because Wolverine is again on his level 3 face. So it was a kind of a cost inefficient turn. I didn't end up able to buy Infiltrate. I should have re-rolled my Big Entrance to see if I could get 2 generic energy, but I didn't end up doing so. So my opponent pays 3 to trigger Breath Weapon. I tell him at this point that he has to attack with that die to be able to use it, and I PXG before he does. So he wipes my board, deals me 3 damage with that Big Entrance, and then with that Breath Weapon, and then I also take the 7. So that takes off 10 damage off of my health there. Luckily, that goes into into used, and he doesn't have much that he's going to be able to put into prep, meaning he's going to have to dig through his bag again. So I roll it up. I'm able to pick up that Silver Sable. Don't have my Nick Fury there. I should have picked that mask up and added it back. That was kind of bad play on my part. Bad manners. Roll everything at the same time is probably better manners than that. So I'm going to pay Red Dragon Global Bolt, and then I'm going to pay a mask to buy the Infiltrate that I need. And I'm going to have a lot of energy to move over next turn. So I've set everything up, or I've purchased everything, and I have everything else in the field that I need. All I need to do is roll that Infiltrate and hope that my opponent doesn't find a way to kill me before I can get to that. So he shakes everything up, rolls it all out, ends up with 3 fists, which do him no good on a team made up of mostly bolts. The only thing it can do for him is use it with the Ant-Man Global to flip attack and defense on characters. So he buys a blue dragon for 2. Because of the reduced cost of half dragon. He then pays 3 for a green dragon. And allows me to move over a big chunk of dice. Looks like I'm going to move over 5 dice. I check my bag to make sure I'm not going to take burn. Because if I didn't have enough dice to make up 4 when those go in, then I will take burn damage. So 3 and... let's see, Put that in. If I draw the orange die, if I draw the infiltrate and roll it, then that's... Oh, I do draw the infiltrate. Had a 50-50 shot. So I roll everything up. Let's see if I can land it. And right off the bat, I pick up infiltrate. And so the combo is complete. All I have to do is attach that there, sacrifice there, and I got it. So I show my opponent that I have lethal, and we agree that the game is over. So these work. This set of or this iteration of this team worked really, really well. I think it worked really well because my opponent didn't have any spot removal on his team. He brought just a straight up dragon team. So what I think these videos can show you is make sure you always have something on your team that can remove a big problem. Something on your team that can deal with a big problem character or a set of characters that can be a problem. Always think about when you're building a team, what you're going to put on it that's going to help prevent you from dying or help keep you alive. Whether that be life gain, which there is a little bit in this game, but not a ton of life gain within the game itself, or if that's blanking card text or board wiping, something like that. Always try to search out what you're going to put on your team that's going to help you stay alive against your opponent's threats or neutralize their threats. So I hope you guys enjoyed these two games. Let me know what you think about this iteration of this team. Anything you would change or improve upon. I didn't even buy Black Widow Serena, even though she's a great deterrent character in the early game or rush down character. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching.